Hello and welcome to Week 10 in History of Psychology and Chapter 9. We start looking at behaviorism, probably one of the most profound schools of thoughts within the field of psychology. And we're looking at antecedents, meaning the buildup of knowledge that preceded the formal introduction of behaviorism. And so we start to see some comparative psychology now. Not that we weren't doing that before, but we start to see comparative psychology coming in where we're looking at animal models to understand human beings on a behavioral level. Again, this arises from the perception of evolution that lower animals are somewhat like us, and if we understood their behavior, it could give us clues about our behavior. So the discussion, should we be using animals? What's the utility of using animals? I mean, I guess there's a strong argument within the field of psychology for using animals in animal studies. And certainly the early ones that were cruel to animals, we don't like to do that a lot. There are times when we feel that that's necessary to study medicines and stuff like that. We would insist on the animal studies before human studies. But the notion of using animals as behavioral models for human beings, a discussion on that. And then the assignment is, you may recognize it, if you took Intro to Psych here at KVCC, you had to do a very similar assignment to this one in the learning chapter, which was to apply the concept of classical conditioning, one of the precursors for operant conditioning that we're going to see with behaviorism, using classical conditioning to describe an advertisement. In this particular assignment, I'm having you find the ad. Now, keep in mind, you're getting your head wrapped around the whole notion of unconditioned stimulus, unconditioned response, neutral stimulus, conditioned response, and audience, the target audience. You're getting your head wrapped around those. Pick an ad. You can pick any ad. You're going to have a visual ad, and you're going to have a copy of that ad in your paper. Pick an ad that makes it easy to see these things in it. They're in every ad. They are there. That's how advertising works. These factors are always there, or they're implied. So find an ad that you can do this well at. And I'm going to be asking you to include a copy of that ad, that you identify the unconditioned stimulus, the thing that makes the ad attractive, the unconditioned response, how you respond to the thing that makes it attractive, the neutral stimulus, the product, the conditioned stimulus, the product, once the learning occurs, and then the conditioned response, which is the same as the unconditioned response, but now it's in relation to the conditioned stimulus. Some of this is very transparent. And you're going to be describing and explaining the relationships between these items on why that ad is effective. And then, based on where you found the ad, the type of stimulus that's in there, the type of product, who was the intended audience? And it needs to make sense. There's a lot of psychology that goes into this. There are psychologists that work in advertising companies that think very deeply about target audience, and they design ads for specific audiences. They place those ads in certain places, in certain parts of the store, in certain magazines, on certain billboards, during certain sporting events. The ads that you see in the Super Bowl are not the same ads that you see on a golf tournament. Different audience. So, that's the assignment that goes along with this particular chapter. It should ring right back to that assignment in your Intro to Psych. Don't use that ad. It's been around for a while, but it's the girl holding the Coca-Cola plate. That's been my ad of choice for quite some time. Find a different ad and do this analysis for that. Remember, title page and all that stuff too. So just like a regular assignment, and I do want a screenshot or a picture or a copy of that image right in the paper, not as a separate. Just put it right in the paper. That should be the first page after the title page. Should be a copy of the ad, and then you can write after that. Okay, so that's this week in history of psychology. So enjoy this. Enjoy the weather that's starting to change. It's getting warmer out there, getting closer to summer. We are 2/3 of the way through our time together. So this semester is moving right along. So have a great week, and I will see you online. Take care.